the president and his team like to say that they don't watch the polling. I've had many Democrats tell me that they should watch this. 56% of Democrats and people who say they lean Democrat say that they want somebody else to run in 2024. Now even top Democrats are dodging questions on the issue. Here's Speaker Nancy Pelosi last week.
President Biden is the president of the United States. He did a great service to our country. He defeated Donald Trump. Let's not forget that. I'm not going into politics about whether the president should run or not.
Pelosi is not the only one being evasive, apparently. Plenty of high-ranking Democrats are avoiding to answer the question. Power panel now, David Webb, host of The David Webb Show on Sirius XM Patriot, and Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio show host, is with us today. Both are Fox News contributors. Good to see you. And
Great
Leslie, you and I are in our pumpkin spice welcoming fall.
Spicy ladies.
Yes, and you look sharp with your velvet
That's true.
collar.
I didn't get the memo.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, look, David, why is this important? What is the focus? Because Democrats will say, and I don't want to completely speak for Leslie, she can speak for herself, that it's just too early to be talking about anything like this. But why is this critical?
Well, it's critical because of what Nancy Pelosi just said. She said President Biden defeated Donald Trump. But what else didn't she say? She couldn't really talk about inflation. She couldn't talk about the economy. She couldn't talk about a housing recession, which is real no matter how much they try to redefine it. She couldn't talk about all the issues that voters will go to the polls on, which is, are you better off now than you were 2 years ago? So she goes back to a singular point and cannot give specifics. And people are starting to see this with the Democrats, that it's about policy failures. When you look at what's going on with crime in the communities, you have New Orleans becoming the murder capital over St. Louis. They're looking to hire civilians to fill in where police cannot because they need more on the street. Democrats have been telling us for years, defund the police, reimagine the police. Now they're trying to pretend they're for the police. That's really about the average American citizen who is the victim randomly or not, or knows a victim of a crime. And when you look at cities like Philadelphia, where dozens, apparently, according to the video, of black youth run in and ransack a Wawa, there's a root problem there, and it ties to the policies, the politics. There are breakdowns in the community. Let's be fair about it. People need to deal with this. But people are seeing the reality that they cannot really ignore anymore, no matter what politicians tell you.
I do not want to make this conversation about abortion, but I do want to say this to you, Leslie, as I get a response. That issue has not polled as high, even on the left, among women now. It brought them out early with intensity, but it hasn't necessarily kept them. It is the economy. Bill Clinton said the economy is stupid. It is inflation. So what do Democrats do now? Because these numbers are pretty damning.
Well, first, it's one poll. Second, in the Democratic cocktail parties that I have been to a few months ago, Harris, there are people concerned and talking about not wanting perhaps the president to run for re-election. I'm actually hearing much different. I'm seeing much more confidence in the president by my side of the aisle, despite this poll, after two recent speeches where they feel that he's stronger. His numbers are ticking up, his approval ratings are ticking up, and also legislation that's come forth over the summer. To your point about abortion, it really depends where. For example, immigration is huge in states like
I said, I don't want to make this about abortion.
And Texas, because they're border states. Colorado, however, abortion is the number 2 issue among voters, among Latinos in New Mexico. It is a rising issue. And actually the economy, although still number one, the numbers have dropped some. And of course, we've seen the more than 12% over women that have registered in the state of Ohio after the Dobbs decision. I would say that it depends on the district. And some districts care, or some states like Colorado, about abortion as a very strong issue.
That's fair as you look at politics being all local. We're talking about a big national look at this now, and people are hurting when they go to the grocery store. And so again, I didn't want to make it all about that, but I know that that's something that the polling has showed that Democrats are trying to push. They're trying to keep those women in the fold based on that one issue, and it may not be enough. Let's talk about some reaction that the Speaker of the House got when she went recently, reportedly at a New York music festival yesterday, getting some booze. Let's look.
To the local races rather than the national view of a country that's in turmoil because of Democrat policies that have harmed the economy. And people drive to the grocery stores more often than they drive to the abortion center.
Real quickly, because we really only have about 20 seconds. Leslie, why do you bring a California politician who's also Speaker of the House twice to a music festival in New York?
Except for the disparaging remarks about her personally and the people in my party and legislation, I do agree with David. If you're there to see Metallica, you're there to rock on. You don't want to see a politician, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. And, and the guy that first tweeted the booze, he actually has a lot of Charlie Kirk following and hating of President Biden on his Twitter page that I checked out. And he actually sent it to a huge alt-right figure.